a tutoring program that's making a difference thanks to dedicated community volunteers. Middle school students show that one person's trash can be another's artistic inspiration. Shakespeare takes center stage at an elementary school. And wagons ho! Students hit the trail to find out about life in the 1800s. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Community involvement can play such an important role in a school's success. At Rosehill Elementary, community volunteers are the fuel that powers the school's successful tutoring program.
We do homework, and sometimes we could have free choice and read a book or go on the computers. We get to color, we get to do our spelling.
Sometimes we get free choice. We get to play cool math games.
Avery, Leah, and Jesus stay after school each day for something called Y-Care.
We're looking for the one on the negative side. We're looking for the one closer to zero.
The program run by the YMCA includes snacks, activities, and tutoring time with volunteers.
About half of our population are English language learners. There is a big need for reading, especially. There's no way I could do this program without the volunteers that we have. The adults come in and the kids just love them. I mean, and I told them during their orientation, I said, one of the things you have to do is to realize that when you start coming, these kids become attached to you very, very quickly. And so when you're not here, they want to know where you're at and why you're not here. And so it affects them a lot more than you think it does. And so they have really bonded with these kids, and the kids in turn have bonded with them as well. So it's really a nice thing to see.
Get your pencil, I'll help.
When Rick Alvarez and I spoke, we spoke about basically any kids in the classroom that needed extra help academically and also needed maybe a little more guidance either after school or just a little more one-on-one attention and positive support from an adult in their life. And the volunteers that volunteer for the tutoring program, I can't really say enough about them because they're using their time to come in and kind of help my kids when, I could stay after school, but like you said, you put in all this time and you just hope that they get it and you hope that they go home and they do their homework, but that isn't always the case. And so the fact that these volunteers are taking time out of their own day to come in and really work one-on-one with the kids is, it's priceless.
I like that they're nice to me. They're nice to all of us, and they help us with the homework.
Well, they're always so fun, and they help you with your math or your spelling.
I don't know, I think they're kind of a lot more focused now, hopefully. They kind of tend to work harder, I think. From the beginning of the semester to now, they just have a harder work ethic, I think. And just kind of improving on their basic math or whatever. Just more practice has been helping them improve in class.
Many of these children don't have anyone at home to help them, especially our English as a second language learners. Mom and Dad frequently do not speak one word of English. So we teach them English, and hopefully they go home and give their parents an opportunity to learn too. But they're the ones that really shine, really, really shine.
Teachers say the extra tutoring makes a real difference in the classroom.
He just seems more confident in class, and I can just see him making better choices as well. Academically, he's being more successful than ever, and he's giving better effort. And I won't say that he's always right, but he's always trying, and that wasn't the case before.
Stephanie's student, Emmanuel, even made the honor roll for the first time and received the school's I Can Award for having a can-do attitude.
The I Can Award is only if you say I can do this and you can accomplish stuff. It felt really proud to me whenever I got up to the stage, and it was really fun.
It is such a worthwhile opportunity to give back to the community. I just think that it's very, very important. The kids are one part of it. It's also as these coaches learn their students, it becomes quite a pair. And so our kids look forward to our coaches to come, and the coaches are looking forward to our kids. And so it's a win-win situation.
Rosehill received a 21st Century grant, which helped expand the tutoring program. The 5-year award gives the YMCA additional resources for Y-Care, as well as funds to expand programming to offer English and GED programs for Rosehill's parents. On Shawnee Mission's north side, there's a community partnership that is proving to be a win-win for Shawnee Mission North High School and the City of Mission.
Every year for a number of years, the City of Mission has offered a Shawnee Mission North senior the opportunity to be an intern.
As the intern, I get volunteers from the school, my fellow classmates and underclassmen to do mostly like games and activities aimed toward the youth of the community.
It was decided several years ago that if we wanted to appeal to the younger generation in this area, that we needed a younger generation on our committee. So that's how the internship from Shawnee Mission North came about.
In addition to planning the youth activities at city events, the city intern attends monthly Convention and Visitors Bureau meetings, serving as a voting member.
It's fun to watch the kids' comments and questions, and when I say, Scott, you gonna vote? You know, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm voting with adults here. What am I supposed to do? But I want them to vote. I want them to be in on the voting process. Is this going to work? If you think it's not, tell me.
It's been a great opportunity for them then to see their education in real life practice and be able to work outside of the school in a real life application of that education.
Now that his year as a city intern is over, does Scott think it was beneficial?
This is a very positive experience for me, and I really am looking forward to passing it on so that somebody else can have that experience as well.
In addition to the internship, Mission's Convention and Visitors Bureau recently tapped into the talents of Shawnee Mission North's award-winning journalism program.
We do a mission magazine. It's published 5 times a year called the Mission Magazine, Mission Your Hometown Magazine. We had heard some comments that they thought that the magazine was not real up to date. So I called Becky at Shawnee Mission North and asked her if we could bring some magazines that we had done, we'd already published, and have the journalism class critique them.
They brought us all of their issues of their magazine for us to look through. And since we're designers and photographers and writers, we gave them tips on how they could improve maybe the look of some of their pages. Their main goal was to make their magazine better, so that's why they came to talk to us.
Mission Magazine gave Mariah another interesting opportunity, a chance to do the photography for a story on Shawnee Mission North's International Baccalaureate Signature Program.
It was just awesome. I mean, we were flipping through the new issue, and I just go, that's my picture, I took those pictures. And it was just really cool to see, like, oh, my name, and I took those pictures. It was just a moment of joy.
IB students who were interviewed for the article appreciated the community taking an interest in what they're doing.
I thought the article was fantastic. It had a great balance of me, Sarah, and what IB actually was, and it did a great job of showing our hard work and showing our appreciation for it.
It meant a lot because I said earlier that adults really sometimes don't listen to teenagers. I mean, everyone likes to be heard, so it's really nice when people take your suggestions.
I just hope that the community learns that the youth of today have great ideas, that they have valuable ideas, that they are of value to our community. You know, there's just a lot of things they can learn from the adults. There's a lot of things the adults can learn from the youth.
In addition to its relationship with Shawnee Mission North, the City of Mission also partners with Rosehill Elementary. Up next, middle school students invest the time, and it pays off in the form of big donations to several of their favorite charities.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I attend Brookwood Elementary.
and I read the book Tuesdays at the Castle by Jessica Day George. The three main characters are Celia, Leela, and Rolf. Tuesdays at the Castle is mysterious and funny. It's mysterious because Celia, Leela, and Rolf's parents go on a trip and they disappear. Rolf, who is next in line to be king, needs his dad, King Gloyer, to make it official, so he sends out a bunch of knights to find them. Celia thinks the castle talks to her and that her parents are not dead. Tuesdays at the Castle is funny because the author makes the story hilarious. Watch out for Tuesdays, read Tuesdays at the Castle. I rate this book 5 out of 5 stars because it's a book you can't put down even at dinner.
Welcome back. 6 community organizations are better off thanks to the hard work of a group of Indian Hills Middle School students.
Now she rides the bus each day with confidence, knowing that a wonderful and safe environment awaits her. This is the Children's Place.
This is one of 6 student presentations on a nonprofit organization given by members of Indian Hills Junior Board. These presentations are the culmination of a year's worth of study about nonprofits and how they function.
They learn to look critically at financials, they interview executive directors, they go on site visits, and learn that there's more than just going to an organization and volunteering your time.
We talked about philanthropy a lot in the beginning of the year and why philanthropy is important and what it is, and it's basically the art of helping others, and that's why we're all here to learn about nonprofits. Once a month, Amethyst Place holds a clothing drive.
Students then divided into 6 groups. Each group selected one nonprofit for their presentation, and students took their research seriously.
Well, the presentation included the financials, the mission statement, statistics, and outcomes of the organization.
The United Inner City Services mission is to provide opportunity and support to individuals and families for the promotion of community and personal empowerment to enhance the quality of their lives.
They had very, very good, insightful and pertinent questions. They clearly had done their research. They had taken the time to look into who we were before they came to the Children's Place.
I think the fact that they were working for a real world, payoff, if you will. They knew that their presentation and their research was going to result in money for people who would really benefit from it. Was a real big motivator for them.
And did his family bring him there because they thought he needed assistance with that?
The panel of judges who heard the presentations was also impressed by the students' work.
I thought the presentations were great. My expectations were pretty high because we'd met the kids before during one of their sessions, and they blew away all the expectations that I had. It was really great to see. Good teamwork, good energy, great visuals, and everyone tugged on the heartstrings a little bit, which was nice to make it very personal to each of them.
Many people don't know that the average age of homelessness is 7.
Even though the PTA had committed funds for the junior board to distribute, some students decided to see if they could raise some donations themselves, a move that really impressed Lynch.
They put on coat and tie and dresses and walked into what I think most adults would feel is a pretty stressful environment, sit at a conference room table and share what junior board is about and ask for a donation. So the kids themselves raised $3,000 of the $6,500 that we gifted.
6 local charities split the funds, including the Children's Place, Amethyst Place, United Inner City Services, De La Salle, Moxa, and Restart.
They've created kids who I think are going to be lifelong givers to community projects and nonprofits.
And the experience with this program has been huge, and I think it will help so many other students if they continue to use it.
I think it's really important to show us now, kids who may not even know that it's important to help people, that philanthropy is still out there and we need to be a part of it.
Based on the success of the Indian Hills Junior Board, Lynch hopes to start a group at Shawnee Mission East next and then expand it throughout the district. At Indian Woods Middle School, students are beautifying their campus by turning trash into artistic treasure.
So we are doing an installation out in the courtyards here at our school. The kids are basically repurposing what would otherwise be trash. So the Kansas Green Schools grant was able to fund visiting artist Sabrina Stairs, work with the students, she was able to share her artwork with them and then work with them in making their own installation to put out here in our courtyard.
She does a whole bunch of environmental photography. She has done a lot of pictures with her daughter, and she's actually really creative with her pictures. She has one like taking multiple pictures of her daughter, as in like rushing and getting ready in the morning, which a lot of middle schoolers can relate to.
This art project is to help the kids have an awareness about recycling, about what they consume, what they use, and then to look at objects and think about how they can repurpose them. Looks good, you guys.
Well, we're taking recycled materials that most people would just throw away normally, and they'd end up in landfills, and we're creating things to make a desert and a rainforest. We use like plastic bottles and 2-liter bottles and just any recycled materials to make what we are making.
What we're hoping that it's doing is creating a new perspective of how things can be used, or also to create an awareness of how much we throw away, because they're digging through lots of trash that they have created, and it's like making them see the trash and realize what we do with it.
They have really enjoyed this project. All of my classes have really jumped into it. They all had their own ideas. We kind of approached them and said, we would like to do a project using recycled items. What do you guys want to make? They all came up with their own ideas. They're all kind of going along the theme of, reusing, repurposing, but then they've come up with more specific concepts within that.
So we're creating a desert and a rainforest out of recycled materials, making them into things such as snakes and scorpions. And
we have like recyclable milk cartons, water bottles, any like cardboard, food-related material, Pringle cans, all that kind of stuff.
It's super neat to just see what comes out of their imaginations and their minds, because they've concepted every piece themselves. And so to walk by a table and go, wow, you made this frog out of this. This is your whole idea.
We want to teach people or tell people that stuff isn't just trash. It's more of just, you can use it. Like, not just throw it away.
Well, hopefully it'll help the kids who are actually making the projects think about recycling more, and just kind of help inform the other students in the school and give them kind of ideas on what they could reuse items for.
I think it turned out very well. I mean, it's all really abstracted with the Light City, all abstracted neon colors. It turned out pretty well. I mean, it's really colorful and pretty.
What great creativity, Indian Woods artists! From shooting marbles to hauling water to making butter, students get a taste of life on the Shawnee Indian Mission. Plus, it's like a science fair on steroids as biotechnology seniors present their research projects when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. Welcome back to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Seniors in the district's Biotechnology Signature Program are doing some impressive work. Here's an example.
My project was the biodegradation of lignin for biofuel production, developing an assay to determine the presence of lignin-modifying enzymes being produced by native organisms in Johnson County, Kansas.
A pretty complex title, but Catherine says it boils down to finding a faster way to turn plant waste into something called cellulosic bioethanol.
Cellulosic bioethanol is different from traditional ethanol because as opposed to using the actual food product like the corn or the sugarcane, we're taking waste products such as corn stover, which is like the stalk of the corn, or switchgrass, other wood chips, and lawn and tree byproducts.
Her presentation was part of a senior luncheon at Shawnee Mission West, where biotechnology students had an opportunity to share their research and thank their mentors.
These students have aspirations to do science, not just read about science. So the mentors really make that happen for us. So I really appreciate all of the mentors.
Our teacher, she connected us with a professional that we were able to go and shadow essentially for essentially this entire semester. And I worked with a professor from the University of Kansas Medical Center.
The biotechnology program has been great for my daughter. It's a great program for this school. It has really helped give her a direction for her future. She's going to major in chemical engineering. She knows what she wants to do in college. So it's really been hands-on more than just reading about it.
And this is the exciting part. When I showed this to Dobbins, he said, whoa, because this means that starvation activates the Tribbles protein. And so that is really exciting.
Another student's research results indicated that starving fruit flies caused one type of protein, called S6K, not to mask another called Tribbles. What's so exciting for those who aren't biochemists is that this finding could be a piece to the puzzle that leads to a cure for diabetes. Not quite your typical high school science project.
It makes us proud to support these types of programs. And after watching this presentation, these 3 presentations today, I looked at my colleagues and I said, you know, it makes you feel really good. You get goosebumps thinking about the future of our country and our world when you have kids that are saying, we're going to cure cancer and let people live longer. It's just amazing to see these bright students, and to be a part of, even a little part of helping them get to that goal is priceless.
Great work being done. Our thanks goes out to the mentors in the research and business communities who partner with our biotechnology program. At Brookwood Elementary, students are enjoying a bit of the Bard. Check out the Beaver's 2nd annual Shakespeare Festival.
Pardon me, sir, a word. My father was quite wealthy, and I am to heir to his lands and goods. I don't have a lot of time to come wooing, so I was wondering if I could win Catherine, what dowry do you offer?
Today we had readings of Shakespeare. The 4th grade at Brookwood did the comedies. This afternoon the 5th grade will do tragedies. And this was basically my idea last year. This is our 2nd year to do this. And I thought that it would be fun to expose students to Shakespeare in kind of a non-threatening, fun way.
I will be angry. Why shouldn't I? Friends, let's go into the bridal dinner. I see this man won't a fool of a woman unless she has the strength and spirit to resist.
They are understanding the vocabulary. We've done a lot of work on the phrases that Shakespeare has coined, which we use today. And so we just practiced, and we've been learning about the history of Shakespeare and the times and such.
You know, the students did a great job. It's wonderful to see this exposure to classical pieces of literature, and they did a really nice job of really taking on the characters and having fun with it.
I wanted them to know that Shakespeare is approachable and something to have fun with.
I have a plan for handling Catherine. I'll be more contrary than she is, but smother her with kindness.
At first, before I read any Shakespeare, I didn't like it at all because I didn't know what it was and it sounded really boring. But once I actually did it, it was a lot more fun.
Yeah, they're all about Shakespeare, and they're actually finding references to Shakespeare in their everyday reading. Their chapter books oftentimes have phrases and character names and such in their books.
Liar, it's Hortensio, isn't it? If you like him, you can have him. Perhaps it's Grenio you prefer. He's rich and will keep you in style.
I was playing Catherine, and she's a shrew at first, and then she gets tamed by a Petruchio, and then she's more agreeable.
Where are your sister and Hortensio's wife? Sitting by the fire, chatting. Then go fetch them.
Last year we only worked with the 4th grade, and this year we added the 5th grade. Next year their 6th grade play will be Shakespeare based, so I guess Brookwood's all about Shakespeare.
festival, students read segments of The Taming of the Shrew, As You Like It, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Up next, students find out what life was like long before smartphones and video games.
Hello, my name is Harrison, and I read The Candy Bomber by Michael O'Tunnell. Candy Bomber is about Lieutenant Gail Halverson, who became known as the chocolate pilot for dropping hard candy, gumdrops, and even chocolate from his airplane to the children of West Berlin during the Cold War. Candy was as rare as snow in the desert for these West Berlin children, and Lieutenant Halverson decided they needed a treat. The candy drops became known as Operation Little Vittles, and major U.S. candy companies such as Lifesavers contributed to the cause. I give Candy Bomber 3 out of 5 stars. Though it might take some readers a while to get interested in it, history buffs like me will enjoy it. Read it!
Welcome back to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Hundreds of fourth graders had the chance to have their history lesson come to life at Shawnee Indian Mission's annual Theme Days. Check it out.
I just want you guys to realize the history of this place. Anytime you hear those words, Shawnee, Mission, Johnson, it comes from this place. That's why you're here. That's how important it is and why we want you to know about it.
The Shawnee Indian Mission Theme Day is an all-day living history study of the Overland Trails. Today, students from Highlands and Westwood View Elementary schools experience what life was like for early Kansas pioneers.
Theme Days was started quite a while ago, probably about 20 years ago, and it's an activity geared just for the fourth graders. And we have 1850 store, we have chance for them to carry water from the creek, and how did they wash clothes with on a washing board, and so all of those things that they probably didn't think of or even read about in a textbook, that they got to actually experience it.
Well, you have to put a towel on, and then you put the yolk on top of that, and then you have the strings coming down, you hook the water to that. They were half full in tin buckets, which would be what you wanted, because the wooden ones are really heavy.
Well, I think it really makes them appreciate maybe what kids 150, 200 years ago, what they experienced and how hard it was.
The Shawnee Indian Mission was established as a training school for boys and girls from the Shawnee, Delaware, and other Indian nations from 1839 to 1862. Declared a national landmark in 1968, it's now a museum and a favorite field trip destination.
They also learned that this is a life in 1850, and also something about the culture. And also we have an Indian flute player that talks about the Indian culture. He's a Southern Cherokee, and talks about the culture and what music meant to them, and how that music is accepted in today's life.
Then it was time for the students to learn about the California-Oregon Wagon Trail. Students were divided into groups and given a wagon. They then packed their food and supplies and hit the trail.
The immigrants traveled from different parts of America to one of the jumping off places. Who can tell me what a jumping off place really means?
This morning we did a wagon train simulation where they do like a mini wagon train, and they have to pack the wagon and kind of go through all the hardships that they may have faced.
We had different places where they had to make decisions about what they were doing, and so it gives them some real life experiences to remember and to think about what life was like. We award points or take away points depending on their decisions. If they make good decisions, they earn points. If they had made bad decisions about what to pack or what to take with them, or if they had had an extremely bad experience one day where they lost animals, they would lose points. And that helped them learn that everything they did had a consequence, and that they had to really pull together and work hard to survive and to get all the way to their destination.
Our family made it. We went on the Merman Trail, and our family made it all the way. And we had one anchor, and we survived in a little brick house.
They're so immersed in it, and because we do a pre-visit, we go to the schools, and we talk about what you're going to expect when you come. And so they're really immersed in that and with anticipation. But then now when they go back, they're going to make some diary entries. They're going to evaluate what they did. So I think maybe it helps them understand not only what they did here, but also what that means to them.
So what was life like for early Kansans?
It wasn't always that simple and easy back then. It's more intense than today.
Now that technology's invented, it's so much easier.
They think it looks like fun, and then when they actually start doing it, they realize it's harder than it looks.
Well, it's so very different than how they live today and how they experience life today.
The kids have loved it. They've enjoyed it. I don't know if they could do it in real life, but a one-time thing, yeah, they love it. They're having a good time.
Well, there's just a lot of old stuff that I don't know about, and I think that's pretty cool.
Kids come here that have never been before, and they live so close to it. And a lot of kids end up coming back for other events that they have at the Indian Mission.
I think we have something for everybody. We have enough things to do and to see here, whether you talk about Indian removal or westward expansion or bleeding Kansas. It all happened right here. So it's amazing that we're much more than just some exhibits to come and look at.
Nearly 500 fourth graders got to experience theme days this year. Our thanks to the Shawnee Indian Mission, Friends of the Mission, and the Johnson County Young Matrons for hosting such a fun way to learn about history. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.